On the news tonight, experts urge Southwest government to focus on irrigation farming. Federal government bars under 18 from NECO and WAEC exams. Coming from the foreign scene, Tunisia president replaces key ministers ahead of presidential election. Good evening and welcome to Media Report. I am Kayode Adebayo. As Osun State celebrates 33 years of its creation, Nafisat Oyedele of her editorial desk takes a look at the transformative stride of media establishments in Osun State. Her report.
On the 27th of August 1991, the then military president, General Ibrahim Babangida, retired. In a nationwide broadcast, announced the creation of Osun State, along other states. Since the creation of the state, the evolution of media has undergone significant transformations. From traditional forms of communication to modern digital platforms, the media landscape in Osun has expanded and diversified, playing a crucial role in shaping public discourse and information dissemination. Her veteran journalist, Mr. Sanya Fadipe, recalls the initial challenges faced by the media professionals relocated from the old Oyo Broadcasting Corporation, BCOS.
A lot of us who came from Ibadan were pioneering members of the BCOS. So we felt broadcasting was going to break down in Oyo because we were coming here full of vigor, full of vitality, full of expectations. Because at that time, we were ushered out of Ibadan in an inglorious manner. So we are ready to put everything in place to make sure that India survives in this state. More so when we got here, we had only one transmitting station. Transmitting station for Okita Sede, which we relied on. We had another one, television one at Iboku. So when we came in, the then governor was ready, Ajibodisha was ready to assist us with everything we needed. I think the television started with what do I call it, an Obivan, a decrepit Obivan that was almost not being used. And the radio just had a transmitter in Okitase, which was converted by engineers then into good use. And before we knew it, because it started.
Despite the challenges, radio broadcasting hit the ground running about 3 months after the creation of the state, with stations like Osun State Broadcasting Corporation emerging as one of the platforms for news, entertainment and public enlightenment at Okitase Ile-Ife. Months later saw the rise of television broadcasting, with OSBC TV offering a mix of local and national programming at Ibokun. This expansion enabled wider coverage and more diverse content catering to the growing demands of the audience. Throughout this evolution, the media in Osun has played a vital role in promoting cultural heritage, supporting development initiatives and holding leaders accountable. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mr. Olufemi Ogundun, confirmed this.
The local media in Osun State has grown along with the state. At the inception of the state, the radio station began immediately, and later on the television and all other private media joined, including the print media. So the press and the state, they have been coming a long way together, and undoubtedly you cannot divorce the growth that the state has witnessed with the efforts of the media, because they grew along together. They have been partners in progress, and at every step, at every point in time, the media has always been projecting the activities of the state, helping the various governments that we've had the last 33 years to mobilize the support of the people, to create awareness, to get their understanding of what is happening, and to disseminate critical information to both the people and feedback to the government.
Mr. Sanya Fadipe expressed optimism that the media has a bright future in Osun State, as long as they transform content delivery that resonates with yearnings and aspirations of the people.
As it is right now, with the growth of Osun State, the media will still be growing. You can imagine how many number of radio stations we have in Osun now, TV stations in Osun now. At that time, it was just one. So we are the only broadcast media that was being patronized there. The broadcast media would have gone. And so today, with the growth of media in Osun, I think BCS is still, OSBC is still doing what it has to do, but it has to be stronger. It has to be more assertive. Because before a media organization can be seen to be patronized by the people, it has to have freedom. It has to express its views, that is people's views, the way they want it. Try as much as possible to have a lead in what the people should be expecting. That's the only way the media can survive. And if you do that, the sky is just the beginning.
The aggregate opinions of the respondents are achievable in view of the recent procurement of 6 digital transmitters for Osun State Broadcasting Corporation OSBC conglomerate and recruitment of staff by the administration of Governor Ademola Adeleke in making the corporation a flagship of broadcasting in the country. Nafisat Oyedele, reporting for OSBC News.
Meanwhile, as Osun State Senior Secondary Education Board Establishment Bill 2024 was the subject matter of debate at the plenary of the State House of Assembly, in which the bill was debated at the Committee of the Whole, after which the progress report was presented by the Speaker, Honorable Adewale Egbedun. Parliamentary reporter Oluwatosin Oladokun has more.
The motion for the adoption of the vote and proceeding was moved by the Chief Whip of the House, Honorable Wale Akerele, and the motion was seconded by the lawmaker representing Igbo State constituency, Honorable Adesina Rabiu. Reading at the floor of the House was a private member B, authored by the majority leader of the House, Honorable Babatunde Koforola, was the Speaker, Honorable Adewale Egbedun. The bill titled Osun State Security Network and Amatekun Core, Amendment Number 1, is seeking to amend and review some of the components domiciled in the state security network.
This bill is aimed, amongst other things, at reviewing the tenure of the chairman and other members of the board, aside that of the secretary, from part-time to full-time, to further strengthen the operations of the agency in view of the current security situation, which is not peculiar to our state alone.
Thereafter, the House dissolved into the Committee of Whole for consideration of Osun State Senior Secondary School Education Board Establishment B 2024 at the Participatory Committee of Whole, Chairman Honorable Adewale Egbedun, as well as members, among whom were the Chairman House Committee on Education, Honorable Sikiru Badepade, Honorables Akinyode Oyewusi, Adeyemi Adewumi, Afiz Ibrahim, Abiola Awoyeye, Adekunle Oladimeji, and Laide Ajibola spoke around the budgetary allocation, employment, terms and conditions of service, and other benefits among others. While presenting the progress made during the Committee of Whole, the Speaker of the House said all the correction and adjustment pointed out at the Committee of Whole are formed part of the bill. The bill under the consideration, which will be passed into law in the number of legislative sitting day, is an executive bill. Oluwatosin Oladokun, OSBC News.
As climate change continues to affect agricultural production in Nigeria, experts have identified the need for governments in the southwest to resuscitate the Ogun-Osun River Basin to enhance irrigation farming in the region. Those who spoke with OSBC News against the backdrop of the destruction of maize crop worth millions of naira as a result of delay in rainfall this year, noted that embracing irrigation farming is the only solution to the challenge posed by climate change. Our reporter Oluchi Amudar completes the story.
Farming activities in the southwest region are often carried out during the rainy season. This year was no different, as many farmers commenced plantings immediately it started raining. However, the rain stopped abruptly when most farmers planted maize and expected them to grow with regular rainfall. This caused irreparable damage to the crops as farmers counted their losses. An agriculturist, Dr. David Ogunshade, was one of the victims of the change in climatic conditions as a result of climate change. He shared his experience with OSBC News.
I borrow money to farm, a maize farm in Iseyin, to be precise, and now they look like onions. my needs. So I spend a lot of money to arrange water because you don't have irrigation in this part of the world. So now I've run into a problem, and I know what has happened to me has happened to several other farmers in the southwest.
Although the rains have started falling since the middle of August, after about 8 weeks of drought, Dr. Ogushade is of the view that this is a time for the government in the southwest region to be proactive by investing massively in irrigation farming to save the people from imminent hunger.
We cry for irrigation system because I don't see why we cannot practice agriculture without rain. Like a country like Israel, where it's situated on the desert, and they are still doing farming 12 months a year. So why are we not doing it here? So I think it's an eye-opener for what has happened now, and because of climate change, we cannot expect to be doing things as before. Depending on rain, we will not suffer a problem. So I am appealing to the authority, most especially in the southwest, to arrange irrigation. After all, the foundation has been laid during Shagari's time. There are all these water basins established everywhere, which have been abandoned.
Another agriculturist, Alhaji Abdul Karim Afolabi, also recounted his losses as a result of a change in weather conditions and called on government to make farming attractive to the youth through the provision of modern farming equipment.
Right now, they will give them all the implements, including the tractors and everything. So they don't expect the graduate or whoever, the youth, to go to the farm with cutlass and hoes. If the ordinary farmer who are not graduates, they will give them the tractors. Nobody is farming, especially food crops. We do not farm with cutlass and hoes.
The Special Advisor to Governor Adeleke on Agriculture, Honorable Olaniran Atidade, said Osun State government has put all machinery in motion to revitalize the agric sector.
So the government is doing all the needful to make it convenient for farmers in Osun State. Because what happened this year is so touching that the rain did not fall as expected, and we are encouraging farmers to please put their own best also, if there is a way for them to get borehole in their farms. But by the special grace of God, the Osun State government is not going to stop from do the needful to assist farmers in the state.
Experts advised the government to declare a state of emergency in the agricultural sector and roll out massive interventions that will save the country from hunger. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
A federal high court in Abuja has frozen the bank account of 32 individuals and companies linked to the 10-day End Bad Governance protest organized across the country, pending investigation and prosecution of the case. Justice Emeka Nwite, in a ruling on the ex parte motion moved by counsel for the Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Mohammed, also ordered the banks to apprehend the account holders or any person transacting business on the said accounts. Mohammed, in his foreground argument, said the accounts as contained in the schedule in respect of which reliefs sought are subject of investigation and are reasonably suspected to be warehousing proceeds of unlawful activities or fraud. According to him, the accounts are used to promote the offense of criminal conspiracy, terrorism financing, treasonable felony, cyberbullying, and cyberstalking, which was illegally transferred to the account of the accused persons. Justice Nwite, who granted the motion, directed the banks to contact the Nigerian Police Force as soon as the arrest is made. Representatives of state government at the last Federation Account Allocation Committee meeting have bemoaned the decision by the federal government to save additional revenue for the payment of the new minimum wage. This development, which affected their revenue distribution from the Federation Committee, was received with opposing views when an update on statutory allocation showed that the government transferred a sum of 200 billion naira into the non-savings account at the August FAC meeting, making a total of 595 billion naira. The Commissioners of Finance, Akwa Ibom, Dr. Linus Noah, Delta, Okenmo, Tilde J, and Ekiti, Akintunde Oyibode raised the observation at the last FAC meeting. During the meeting, it was learned that the committee distributed a total sum of 1.36 trillion naira to the three tiers of government, 1 billion naira less than the 1.35 trillion naira shared in June. In his address, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, applauded President Bola Tinubu for signing the National Minimum Wage Act into law, adding that its implementation will be of immense benefit to all Nigerians. He further disclosed that discussions are still ongoing on the consequential adjustment. The federal government has declared that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited does not have the funds required to rebuild the old pipelines. Fathia Hussaini has more of this and others from the business desk. Our report.
Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Enakin Lokobiri, stated this at the concluded Energy and Labour Summit 2024 organized by the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria. Mr. Lokobiri, while speaking about the divestment of international oil companies and the need for ramp-up production, emphasized that Nigeria also needs to repair its pipeline, which he said are old, corroded and expired. He noted that even if the country can produce more than 1.7 million barrels of oil, the problem is how to evacuate it to the terminals, while explaining that the pipeline that are traditionally transporting the crude were built in 1960 and 1970. Consequently, he called for public-private partnership to fix the old pipeline, saying the country has to go for the global models. He said the federal government will ensure that there is a healthy competition by being fair to both the small and the big refiners. In another development, Nigerian Naira has plummeted to a record low, discrepanting by the 7.58 Naira against the USA dollar in July this year. According to the Financial Markets Infrastructure Group Warehousing reports, the average exchange rate stood at 1,560.22 Naira per dollar, a 4.88% increase from the previous month. The foreign exchange market turnover also surged to $7.88 billion, a 10.02% month-on-month increase. The Naira's volatility has increased consigned with the currency trading between 1,500.32 and 1,621.12 per dollar in July. In the Central Bank of Nigeria Business Expectation Survey predicts further depreciation in the next 3 months but expects appreciation in 6 months. The development has sparked worries about the country's economy stability and the impact on citizens. Meanwhile, the Chief Executive Energy, Biofuels Femi Oye, says lowering production costs is the key to increasing rice availability and lowering its price. Oye underlined how important it is to reduce rice production costs if the government is to achieve economic stability and food security. He underscored the necessity for government intervention and empower lower farmers to produce rice competitively, particularly in light or imported varieties that benefit from reduced tariffs. Oye emphasized that lowering the cost is vital in ensuring good security and economic stability. He reiterated that the reduction of tariffs and the government's direct sales and imported rice should be significantly decrease the retail price of the rice, but their efforts must be channeled into protecting the local industries. Fathia Hussaini reporting for OSBC News.
You are welcome to our commercial segment.
Ambition. My G, for our ambition, we go hard. We go day night till we make it. We go hard till we find that perfect beat.
The perfect beat, the one the world will put on repeat.
So we chase greatness in every moment, making every naira count.
We put out content after content till it's comment after comment. And with Glow by our side,
we have more to offer.
Because the MyG bundle comes with bonuses,
giving you way more data value and way more steez on IG, Snapchat, TikTok, WhatsApp, Glow TV, Audiomack, and Boomplay
in one fly package.
Dial *312# now and select MyG bundle.
Unlimited.
You're welcome back. The federal government has barred individuals under the age of 18 years from participating in the National Examinations Council and West Africa Examination Council examinations. The Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, stated this when he appeared on a television program. He said the federal government has instructed WAEC, which administers the West African Senior School Certificate Examination, and NECO, which organizes the Senior School Certificate Examination, to comply with the directive on 18 years age limit for any candidate to be eligible for the two examinations. Maman also insisted that the age limit for any candidate to write the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination organized by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board remain 18 years. You are welcome to our sports segment. President of Nigeria Basketball Federation, Musa Kida, says stopping board members from imposing players on D Tigers head coach Rena Wakama played a key role in the team's success at the 2024 Olympic Games. D Tigers made a big impression at the Olympics, making it to quarterfinals before bowing out to the United States of America as Wakama's side defeated heavyweights Australia and Canada in the group stage. Reflecting on the team's performance, Kida said the coach did a job without external influence. Kida said the responsibility is that the other board members have been isolated, while the ultimate selection of the team is in the hand of the coach and the technical crew. He asserted that Nigeria was drawn against the highest-ranked team in Group B at the Olympics, appreciating the players for overcoming their fears to go beyond group stage. Now to the foreign scene. Tunisian President Kais Saied has announced a major cabinet overhaul in the appointment of 19 new ministers, including those responsible for defense, foreign affairs, and the economy ahead of the presidential election scheduled for October this year. Itunu Adebayo has more from the foreign scene.
According to a statement from the presidency, Khalid Shili will serve as the defense minister and Mohamed Ali Nafti will take over as foreign affairs ministers. Earlier this month, Said dismissed Prime Minister Ahmad Achani, replacing him with Kamil Madouri, who previously held the position of social affairs ministers, while the Minister of Overseeing Finance, Justice and the Interior retained their roles. This cabinet overall comes amid a financial crisis and growing public dissatisfaction due to ongoing water and electricity disruptions and shortages of essential goods and medicine. Meanwhile, fighting has intensified over the past year after a number of ethnic armed groups formed an alliance against the military. China's ministry has stepped up army and police patrol along its western border with Myanmar and deepening conflict between the military regime and armed forces and armed groups opposed to its coup areas. Ruling in China's south and western province of Yunnan is the main route for people and goods heading to and from Myanmar. Said it had still managed to fire 320 rockets and drones at Israel in retaliation for the assassination of a senior commander. As Israel military said, one Israeli Navy soldier was killed. The US says it is working to avoid any further escalation after 10 months of hostilities that have raised fear of an all-out war. Latest round of US-backed Gaza peace talks in Cairo, as Hamas said it rejected new Israeli conditions and accused Israel of backtracking on promises. Itunu Adebayo reporting for OSBC.
And with that report from the foreign scene, we come to the end of major report on OSBC TV tonight. The bulletin was edited by Adebari Ejimakinde. I am Kayode Adebayo. Thank you for watching and good night.